Foo Fighters. All my life on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington.
Indeed.
Genius Karl Pilkington, as Heat magazine said.
Really? Is that what you refer to now?
Yeah, yeah. Genius. Saying about people tune in just to hear his games, such as Educating Ricky. Have you got some Educating Ricky for me?
Got some education.
I need some education, Karl. I desperately need some education. I want to learn about Chinese kids that are born hairier than average. I want to hear about deaf girls that can hear after their mum hits their head against a wall. These are the things I need to know.
I mean, I don't wish to be disrespectful. He doesn't look like a genius.
He doesn't look like a genius.
But then I don't know what a genius looks like.
Exactly.
So,
Steve.
you know, I don't want to be an
Look at Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mum thought he was mental as a child.
Where'd you get that information from?
That was in the Einstein book.
Well, it was in the Einstein book, then it's really true.
Which Einstein book is that? His Theory of Relativity?
The big book of Einstein stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the big bumper book of Einstein stuff. It's for a coach trip, and you have to fill in, E equals MC1 squared, 2 fish, or 3 hello, and then it's multiple choice, and you fill it. It's great. It's
Did his mum think, A, he was a genius, and B, mental?
Most people go for A, but it is in fact B. She thought he was mental at the age of 28. Oh, Karl, you never let me down. You never let me down. So have you got Educating Ricky for me?
We've got Educating Ricky coming up.
We've got Rockbusters.
We've got Rockbusters.
Great
as seen and talked about in Heat.
In Heat magazine.
It's got really tough this week now. We're not messing about anymore.
Right.
Got some good prizes.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll talk about those later. Because, I mean, was it last week that you had the classic? Was it, I can't remember, I'm paraphrasing, Karl, apologies. Something like, I'm here in Texas, I've fallen in a puddle, and my knee has got wet.
Yeah. Wet Knee Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
And also, it was last week when there was a little bit of confusion over the one for Holly Valance.
Of course. I don't think it was confusion, I think it was your error.
No, it wasn't.
And it was Holy Valance, and you meant Pelmet.
Then Becky, who called up that time and said, oh, if you're getting mistaken with Pelmet, right, she sent me an email in a week saying, I've done a bit of research. It was my fault, I've made an error. It is a Valance.
Okay.
And I know about Valances, as I told you last week at the very end, my auntie loves them.
Yeah.
Right? She makes them. She started off just like putting them on top of the sort of window around the curtain. And then she thought, oh, I can do more with this. And she had a little coffee table that had magazines underneath, and she said, I'm sick of seeing them magazines when I'm sat down.
She sounds like a Pilkington, so...
I'm sick of seeing the magazines when I sit down.
So she put a Valance around the table.
She just got Valances around everything now.
Right? Then, next step, she tapes everything. She never actually watches telly, she tapes it all. Because she gets sick of listening to the adverts and that. So she tapes everything, so she's got loads of videotapes and that. And the video used to get on her nerves. When she was watching a film, she'd see the clock changing. And it distracted her from the film, so she put a Valance around that.
That's genius!
So
that is
or is it mental? Only Mrs. Einstein can tell.
I don't know. She's even made a little Jack Russell look like a hovercraft. It's great.
So everything's got a Valance.
If you go round and you stand still for too long, the chances are you'll get a Valance around your head.
This is this is Auntie who?
Auntie Nora.
And this is the one that farted for 5 minutes. Lest our listeners forget. Farted for 5 minutes, called his mum, saying I'm farting. 2 minutes into the fart.
She said about 2.5 minutes in.
You said I'm about 2.5 minutes into the
my mum said, how long's it been going on for? She said, well, it was about 2.5 minutes before I called you. And then it went on for a further 2.5 minutes or something. And then it stopped.
She couldn't time it because there was a Valance over the clock. She used to annoy her when she was on the phone and you put her off, see, the time. She was guessing it was 5 minutes.
This was one consistent fart?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't making a noise, it was just...
Oh, it wasn't making a noise?
Just gas.
Right, endless gas.
So, there you go.
That's fantastic. Well, we started off with a new one, a little bit of Foo Fighters. We like new and old on this show, don't we?
Indeed, we like to mix it up.
I'd like to play the Smiths from their debut album, I Don't Owe You Anything. I Don't Owe You Anything. The lads from Carl's hometown there.
Indeed.
The Smiths. Brilliant, that one. Wow, I went to Manchester, didn't I, the other day? Went up to Manchester for a little corporate. It was alright. He went, wait till you get out, you see Piccadilly, it's better than Euston. Right. It was. You know, it was nicer. I went outside and there was a ridiculous queue. and sort of one cab.
Right, yeah.
So,
horse-drawn.
yeah, and so I walked, and it was okay, it was only down the road, it was a bit dark, it was wet and raining.
Obviously, it's the north.
I know, yeah. The hotel was very nice, but no minibar. I've never seen that before. I've travelled all over the world to see them in a hotel without a minibar.
No,
so I don't know what's going on then. I don't know what's going on there. And then I did this corporate gig in Old Trafford. The pitch was up, I don't know what they were doing, but, you know, very impressive, big impressive. I think they're British Football Club, aren't they, Carl?
Yeah.
You did a gig at where?
Old Trafford. It was in a function room.
Oh,
there
well, I thought it was the stadium.
No, I'm not that big yet.
Yeah.
No. But I mean, you know, I can't really comment on Manchester. I do know that Liverpool was voted most important music city by a poll.
True enough.
So, Carl, you're making noises while I'm talking.
Yeah, but you do this all the time, trying to wind me up. And I'm not saying Manchester's the best place in the world, but what I'm saying is, there's bits of it that I really miss.
Yeah.
Like last Sunday, right? When I'd met up with Ricky, we had spaghetti bolognese, which was alright. And then I said to him, I need some soil.
Damn, I wish you'd invited me, it sounds amazing.
So I need some soil, what do you think?
You need some what, soil?
Soil, yeah.
I need to repot a plant, right?
Yeah.
So,
you need to repot a plant?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
So, I'm like, where you can't see these shops in London. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing around.
I took him straight to one in my street.
Yeah, but near your street, and that's probably the only one in London.
Well, you say that, Carl.
No, it does annoy me. Round my way, it's like, you know...
You can't move for soil shops.
You can't. There's earth, you can just pick up handfuls walking down the street.
Yeah, incredible. People just lean over into someone's front garden.
No,
you can take the plants as well.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Go on.
Manchester, there's loads of decent hardware shops.
Yeah.
Here, you know, if you want a panini and a latte or whatever, you can't move for them. But for soil, I had to go virtually how many miles away from me to carry that soil home and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not good. I mean, London's all right, but if cities were sort of...
It's neglecting the peat market, really,
well, there's barely any mulch available in central London.
I'm sick and tired of not getting a good, decent compost of a Sunday.
Indeed.
So, you know, I'm thinking of moving to the north, where there is loads of soil and gravel.
Indeed.
And animal shite.
whatever.
Yeah, so you were going to say, if you're marking cities out of 10, what would you give
London? Well, if you were marking them on, like, you know, on what they have.
Right. As opposed to what?
Well, as opposed to...
How you spell it.
Say, like, I think the greatest city in the world is Rome. Right, okay. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been?
What? Yeah, why do you think that, though?
Just because, like, you turn a corner and there's something there that's really old. Right. Like, you're going down Normal Street.
Go and stay in a Derby and Joan club.
Yeah. No, but it's like you're going down the road and then you turn a corner and like the Colosseum's in the middle of a busy road. It's like, what's that doing there?
Yeah.
And just when you think there's no more, you turn another corner.
It's almost as if that was there first.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. But do you know what I mean? London.
Yeah.
What have we got? You know, Trafalgar Square's world known. And you go there, what's there?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, there's a lot of space there. Get one big B&Q.
In Trafalgar Square.
To cater for the whole of people who live sort of central Londonish.
Yeah.
And then I'd be happy, but what I'm saying
with Nelson just popping up through the middle? Because you can still see it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
So B&Q could be like the whole sort of flat thing and make it sort of grey so it looked like rock, and then Nelson popping
up... Make it classy is what you're saying?
Yeah. Stone clad it. So it looks like you've made an effort.
Exactly.
And then you can pop in, and then you can go out and go, oh look, Nelson's column. Oh, look at that, isn't Nelson? Oh, look at that. The victory. Defeat, that's fantastic. One of the greatest living.
Yeah.
I need some nails.
Yeah. Perfect. Killing two birds with one stone, you say?
But why isn't there more than them shops? Because when I went into yours, every time I've been in there twice now. The first time was to get a shower head.
Right.
And I went in there, couldn't resist buying something else. I ended up getting some super glue as well.
Blimey. Hey, big spender.
And then, last Sunday we went in there, got 2 bags of soil, not one, I bought 2. And I bought some scissors to cut plants with.
Secateurs.
Well, you never know when you want, you know, you might need more soil, I suppose.
Well, I've got
stocked out now. Where'd you keep it under your bed?
Sorry, this isn't going out, is it, this conversation? It's not going out on air.
I got a feeling it might be.
You're joking. We better play a record.
Okay.
Play a classic. Hives.
That jingle, of course, signifies another reading from Karl Pilkington's diary. We went to the park and had a brew. Suzanne read the paper while I played with a ladybird. I mean, it's like a child, isn't it? It's like what a child would do.
Suzanne read the paper while I played with the ladybird. His only friend is a beetle.
It climbed up my arm. It struggled on me hairs.
This is in detail, then.
Yeah. It kept stopping every now and then and was rubbing its head with its right arm. It did it about 4 times and always used its right arm. It rested for about 5 minutes, then flew off. Sunday. Had a bit of a to-do with Suzanne because she wanted a lion today. I ate this. Once you're awake, you should get up. I got up and put the radio on really loud. She eventually got up. I told her insects don't have lions, so we shouldn't.
Why are you obsessed with insects?
You must be fucking unbearable to live with. You must be a nightmare.
No, I've just started, because I've watched insects a lot, I don't want to keep going on about them, because we're a bit insect heavy. But at the end of the day, if we copied insects, we wouldn't go far wrong.
I don't know what you mean, though. 1 minute you're saying they're great, then the next minute you'll slag them off.
Yeah, I'll slag some of them off if I don't know what they're doing, but because I've studied them a bit longer, I just think they do it
You haven't
right.
studied them, though.
He thinks he's like Darwin.
But you just slagged them off when you go, no, you think that insects are doing stuff, they're not. It
Yeah,
goes there, then
ants.
it goes back again.
The ant was messing about, but only that one. The others were carrying stuff. That's what I'm saying. These snidey ones in everything. In everything in the world, you get a hierarchy.
Oh, long words!
Ooh. Some new sea thing has been found.
That's the headlines on the news.
It wasn't found by sea experts, it was found on eBay. Someone was selling it for a £5. I don't see the point in buying something that you don't know what it is.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It was...
Someone's found some sort of shell with a thing living in it.
Right.
They thought, oh, I've never seen one of these before, I can flog it on eBay. Someone bought it and then wanted to look after it, went to some sea expert, and they said, oh, I don't know what that is. That's the story. It's just weird how stuff's being found on eBay.
No, it wasn't found on eBay, though, was it?
Yeah, but that's where the specialist people sort of picked up on it. It's just weird that... I mean, all I was saying is I wouldn't want one. If you don't know how to... If it's a new creature, you don't know what makes it happy. When you get a kitten, you go, stroke its head, loves it, right? And you can do that knowing that it's liking it. If I had a little seashell and you go, does it sit in water? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You could end up doing more damage. So that's why I wouldn't want it. It's nice to have rules, isn't it? It's nice to know what you're doing with something.
Well, as you write in the diary, it's like if an alien landed and wanted to live with you. As much fun as it might sound, it wouldn't be long before you got annoyed with it because it wouldn't eat the food you gave it.
That's what I'm saying, but I couldn't have a go at it because it might not like pasta.
It might not.
Everyone likes pasta.
Wow.
Woke up to some interesting news. It's good when this happens because it sets me up for the day ahead. If it's miserable news, it affects my day. It said on the news that they have found 2 new flies.
Fucking hell, more insects! What have you done? Is that all you've done this summer?
Bong. Trouble in the Middle East. Bong. 2 new flies found.
Ladybird climbs up arm.
They were found in the UK and they were found close to each other. Maybe this happened because they were different than the other flies and weren't expected to hang about together, so that's why they knocked about with each other.
That would happen, wouldn't it?
What do you mean?
There's 2 new flies.
What do you mean? Does it mean there are 2 new flies that are a different species?
Yeah, 2 new species, and they found them close to each other, right?
Yeah,
and
but they didn't mean there was one of each.
No. Yeah, they did. They found 2 different ones.
No.
No, they have. Seriously, I know that. That's right. That's a fact. So you've got, like, I don't know the names of them. They give them odd names, don't they? Well, say
Yeah.
call it A and Fly B, right?
Yeah.
Fly A, I don't know. Say that's orange.
This is just...
B.
Fly yeah.
No,
This is
but-
painful.
No, but
This
I'm
is
just making it
painful.
easier
But
for
Fly B
you.
wears a little hat. He's got a little hat.
Right, yeah, fine. Now, they found the orange one. I went, look at this over here. This is a bit weird. And they've gone, oh, that's a new species. Log it, whatever. And then the other one went, oh, keep your pen handy. Look at this one, it's got a hat on. So then they found them both within the same distance.
I don't know what that sentence means.
Keep going.
They
No, let
found
him
them
try and
both.
finish.
They found them both within the same distance.
But without interrupting him, let him finish this point.
Let me just make one thing clear. Carl Pilkington just said they found them both within the same distance. Think of that!
Don't know what it means, but go on, let him finish this point.
So So what I mean is, they weren't knocking about with other normal houseflies because they were probably sort of going, oh, he's a bit weird. Leave it. Yet, because the other one was also odd, they're hanging about with each other. Don't you understand that? Why is that such an odd concept?
Because you think of it as like two little new kids in school.
Yeah.
They find out they're both new and they've got something in common.
They're both goths, so they start hanging out together.
Yeah.
And this was on the news, was it?
Yeah, just on the radio, yeah.
I know if I looked into that story, it would be 90% wrong.
Bit tired today because didn't get to sleep as early as I wanted due to a moth getting in the bedroom.
Fuck me!
I got it in a glass and looked at it for a bit and then let it go because Suzanne wanted to go to sleep. Looked up some interesting news. Some people dug up an old body in Ireland. Turns out it's well old and was here when dinosaurs were here. The really weird bit is it had hair gel in its hair.
Right, what is it?
Fella.
Well, no, it wasn't around when dinosaurs were here then.
Just a bit after.
Right, fine. A lot after, yeah, go on.
It's not the age bit, that's amazing. It's the fact of, there's a fella, won't have even had shoes on his feet,
Right.
and yet he was worried about his hairstyle.
Right, well, that's definitely not true either.
There was a man on the radio doing poetry, says Carl in his diary. I thought I'd have a go at doing a poem about today.
Not really. Steve, I'm a little bit queasy. He hasn't really written a poem.
He's written a small poem.
No, he hasn't really.
Yes. If moths had eyes...
Fuck me!
Let me read the poem, okay?
Oh, fuck.
You wouldn't interrupt T.S. Eliot.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
Right. It may be the greatest poem ever written.
Is there a creative decision for that?
Can we have Carl read that?
By all
Sorry,
means, yeah.
just you read it as you would like to. So this is, imagine this, right? Okay, this is going out all over the world. And now, Karl Pilkington, a new poet from Manchester, now living in London, England, would like to read a poem.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
He said it as though the last bit was going to rhyme. He said it like it was going to rhyme. Oh, God.
No,
I
It's
think
amazing, it's amazing.
I think
Carl.
he feels as though the final line, I'd rather be a blind moth, is going to be one of those great, you know, a summation that somehow the moth is a metaphor, the caveman.
No, but
there's
all
no
I'm doing-
metaphor in that. He really does mean he'd rather be a blind moth.
Yeah, well, I'm just because I've looked at the day's news.
Are you getting into poetry now, properly?
I really like it, yeah. Right, I did 2 about jellyfish.
Excellent.
I don't like jellyfish. They're not a fish, they're just a blob. They don't have eyes, fins or scales like a cod. They float about blind, stinging people in the seas. And no one eats jellyfish with chips and mushy peas. Get rid of them. And then there's just a shorter one I did about a jellyfish. It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle.
Yeah, it certainly would.
So,
That's great. That's really good. Because it's jelly. He's done us there, Steve.
Yeah.
That's a really good poem. Can we always do that, Carl? Can we always find a day, right, and always sum it up in your
in a
thoughts, a
poem.
poem, just like that? It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle.
Yeah.
What's been going on? What's been going on?
I've been to hospital. I was rushed to hospital, right, emergency and that. Had a tube put on my knob.
You had a tube put up your knob?
Yeah.
What's the story?
Kidney stones.
Ooh.
So, shouldn't really be here, to be honest, doing this. He said rest. And that. Climbing them stairs on the way in.
To be quite honest, it doesn't look like you're expending a lot of energy at the moment. It's like Zookeeper going, oh, that sloth move today. Calm down.
Yeah, but I had to get here. It's been raining.
Yeah.
I had to come up the stairs. I had to carry the computer.
Yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true, because your girlfriend was carrying it. I saw her outside.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
And then you handed it to me and said, Steve, carry this.
Almighty.
Yeah, I know.
That's already a lie.
Christ almighty. Whinging.
Not whinging.
I'm in show business. I know loads of people that wake up every day with a sore knob, feeling like they've had their kidneys probed, and they would say they're unconscious. So they don't whinge about it. They get straight back onto it. They, a lot of them are on TV now.
Yeah, straight back to hosting game shows.
So you're rushed to hospital.
So take us through the events, because it does sound quite dramatic. You started feeling a bit of pain, did you, initially?
Felt a bit of pain, and I thought, maybe I just pulled a muscle or something when I've been wrestling with Ricky and that, because you don't know what damage has been done. So I just think, it'll go in a minute, and then it didn't. It got a bit badder.
It got badder, did it?
So then I thought, I was crippled. I was lying on the floor in agony, looking on the internet, looking for sort of
Still looking
solutions.
at monkey news.
I just put in like bellyache and stuff, and they were saying me loads of different things. And what I used to do when I was a kid, I used to always just get a cold ashtray and put that on my belly, and the coldness used to get rid of the badness.
Amazing.
The coldness got it.
Like a witch doctor.
Yeah.
This is like
A witch doctor happens to work in a pub.
it's like some sort of 5th century remedy.
Yeah.
Written in mud. Coldness doth get away with the badness. Princess Superstar, Bad Babysitter, first played on this show by Steve Merchant, by Bad Steve Merchant.
That's true.
By Steve Scratch Merchant.
That's
I mean, I still like that, but the videos put me off it a little bit, because it's just, it makes it into the novelty record it always had the potential of being. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. Although I was never a big fan of Bad Babysitter was not my favourite from the album.
Sure. Sure.
If people want my interest and my views on hip hop, then they can always email in, Rick, of course.
Or call you at home.
Just give me a ring at home, it's no problem.
Yeah.
Or I just pop out and hang with them in the hood.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Now it's time for White Van Man.
White Van Man. Yes, for
explain what it is.
those that don't buy The Sun, they think it's beneath them. White Van Man is a column they have, I think, every day, actually, and they just get sort of some, Joe Public to kind of comment on the week's news. Just seems to me, that it might be interesting to get Carl's views on some of the big events.
Not because we think that Carl hasn't got a valid sort of viewpoint. No. Because Carl sees the world differently to some people, that's all, and that's what's interesting. Like an artist does, or a...
Exactly, yeah. He's very bohemian in his outlook.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you're up to scratch on this week's news?
I don't like this, but...
Don't you?
Don't, just relax.
Why not?
It's pressure.
No, because you just have to give us your first opinion.
For your honest answer, that's all we've ever asked of you, Carl, and it's all you've ever given us. Your honest, your first from the heart view, yeah? Don't worry, just relax.
Just chill out.
Are you worried that people are listening and thinking you're an idiot?
If my girlfriend's listening now, go and have a wash or something.
Go and have a wash.
Not very nice, is it? Is it the opposite of Napoleon and Josephine? Yeah, go on. If you're going to visit me again, Josephine, say wash.
Well, I'll ease you in with something fairly easy, a music-based question. Kylie Minogue versus Dido as Queen of the Brits. What's your view there?
Go and have a wash.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
What doesn't really matter?
With the Brits. I was watching it the other night, and I think Kylie will be a good-looking old woman.
Okay.
Do you ever do that sort of thing?
Steve, I want to celebrate with you. Every time he opens his mouth, something like that, I want us to open a bottle of champagne.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like we did that.
Yes.
No, do you do that though? Look at people, and another person who springs to mind, Jenny Powell. I don't think she's that good-looking now.
Who's Jenny Powell? Is she that girl that used to be the assistant on Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah,
yeah, I think she's a bit over the top for a young woman. But when she gets older, I think she'll look...
Be a bit of a stunner. Okay. So, for you, Kylie, whereas you don't feel that about Dido, is that right?
She's alright, she's normal. I prefer Kylie's sister to Kylie. She looks, I can imagine her being hard work to live with. And
who, Kylie?
Not doing washing up and that.
Right, sure.
Being a bit fussy.
Okay.
And what do you make of taxes rising in the next budget to pay for NHS improvements?
Well, my dad went to hospital to have an operation once.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's worth paying it, because I've got something.
Because people might have to go to hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it makes a change when it's someone in your family, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you sort of realise...
Yeah, a change is as good as a rest.
And the weird thing is, if it weren't for my dad, I wouldn't be here doing this show, because when he was in hospital...
Well, no, I'll stop you there.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's all you need to know.
You wouldn't be here, true, but no, but...
Well, no, because this was after I was born. So, I would be here.
But for his more direct involvement was what?
Yeah, because when my mum was seeing my dad in the hospital, I got a bit bored, went for a wander, found the hospital radio station...
Yeah.
And got a gig.
Really?
So, in a real sense, if it wasn't for Carl's dad, Carl wouldn't be here.
And did your dad, like, while he was listening to you, did he, like, sort of tap the nurse and go, can you get that twat off the air?
Who's put him in that?
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Okay, what do you make of the real-life Mowgli who's surviving in a Transylvanian countryside? Apparently, I don't know much about this story.
I don't know.
You know Mowgli, he's the guy from the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
The little kid that grew up with bears and animals and stuff. Apparently there's a real-life one in Transylvania.
What were the things in Gremlins?
What were the what? Like, in Gremlins they were...
Wait. Okay, this is an example. This is what your girlfriend said. Think. What were the things in Gremlins called?
I can't remember.
Just, I mean, really...
It's something like that, isn't it?
No, wait. Just really think now, Carl. Just with everything you've ever... With all the brain power you've ever used, think what the things in Gremlins were called.
It's not there.
There's a clue here.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They're not.
What?
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Play a record, Carl.
Well, we're back, and there's a few more people here.
It's absolutely well done.
Yeah,
Well observed.
Yeah. Do you want to say hello?
Yeah,
Hi, guys.
And what are you doing here?
This is Mark and James, or Sco and Belch, and we're here.
Sorry, your name's what?
Sorry, say the last bit again. Or what?
Sco and Belch.
Sco and Belch?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you want to explain that?
No.
No, from the drinking
story.
games, I imagine.
Yeah.
We've got
Oh.
worse names than that, but it's radio, so.
Sure.
Now, you're presumably students?
We've just we kind of graduated. We've been in work for like about a year or two.
And what do you do?
I work for a management consultancy. I work for a distribution company up in Birmingham.
Well, okay.
So,
Now,
very
what you're
boring.
doing is a scavenger hunt, and you're raising for cancer
Colon
charity,
Cancer Research.
right? And you've got to do. And this is we're just helping you out here because for 17,000 points, you have to get live on a TV or radio show.
That's exactly it.
So
and
here we are.
That's why we're here. Yeah.
Do you ever listen to XFM?
I know of it. Yeah. I listened to it a few times.
Sure. What kind of music, what kind of sounds would you normally be into?
I love cheesy radio, sort of school disco, sort of, 80s stuff.
Sure. Sorry, what was your name again?
Mark, or Sco.
Scott.
Okay.
And you're
Belch.
Belch. And what sort of sounds would you be grooving to, Belch?
Cheesy.
UK garage?
Well,
Craig David.
a bit of house, just very occasionally, a bit of cheese. It depends what kind of mood I'm in, you know.
Now, you don't listen much, but I mean, kiss a celeb, because Carl...
Yeah, we actually want to do that with you, Ricky. Is that all right?
No.
That's not going to happen with
okay.
Ricky, but Carl's now got his name mentioned in Heat magazine.
Is that right? Well, that's
If you want to
brilliant.
snog Carl, we'd love to see that.
I mean, we don't want to snog Carl, but I mean, we were thinking if there was kind of female presenter here, we might be able to do something. But
What are you saying?
A female placenta?
well, if you've got one.
Have you seen some of the female presenters that work on XFM?
Oh, presenter!
Is that why they're on radio?
I thought you said placenta.
That's unlikely.
I know, well, now what's the other things you've got to do here?
So what are some of the things you've done already?
Well,
See, some of these worry me, like start a fire in Pudding Lane
oh, we've done that already.
for 4,700 points.
Well, I'll tell you what we have done. We've been on Phantom of the Opera stage already.
Have you?
Yeah, we just asked the stage door guy. And,
that wasn't during the show, I think.
in actual fact, he actually mentioned that, we shouldn't speak about that too.
Otherwise he'll get sacked.
But yeah, he was really kind, let us on.
We've jumped in Trafalgar Square water with doing a sort of Friends impersonation, so that was...
Right.
How many points did you get for that?
We got 2,000 points for that. We got
Right.
8,000 points for being on the stage at Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
And we get double that. We get like 18,000 points, which is almost the maximum for being here right now.
Really?
So that's
Yeah, well,
absolutely great.
Honestly, I wouldn't worry about the little things. I'd go for the big.
Yeah, that's it.
bucks
We're
here.
we're not interested in the little stuff. We want to go for the big stuff. Yeah.
So what the big ones are? Get on stage with S Club 7. That's not going to happen, is it? What have you got till 6 today?
Well, S Club 7 are on at the London Arena at about 2 o'clock. So
Good luck.
but
Okay.
I think it's going to be very, very difficult to get on there. But we never know.
I think so. Yeah. get in the vaults of a bank.
Yeah,
You see, some of these are bordering on the illegal. That's 20,000 points for that. Like getting a cage at London Zoo. Don't do that. I mean, just 10,000 points, but don't do it. Unless it's a penguin cage.
That's what we were hoping. Just some kind of timid animal we might be alright with. You know?
Yeah, sure.
If anyone's got any good ideas for sort of funky things to do on air, then
Okay, well if you leave your number and anyone calls in, they can help you then.
Well, maybe some of us Club 7 are listening.
Or let's hope so, because I mean, we love them to bits.
If they are, it is for charity, and the points get awarded into money for colon cancer research. So it'd be absolutely fantastic if we could.
Yeah, so Bradley, John, Tina, if you're listening.
Yeah, if you're listening. Or any celebrity out there who's a female celebrity, we need to snog them. It doesn't need to be a long snog, but if we can, that'd be great.
This is good for 7,000 points. This looks like a good one. Play the organ in a church. That must be easy.
Is that a metaphor?
Yeah, but you know what church people are like.
It says the bigger the better, so it might be.
That's got to be euphemism.
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it? Yeah. Well, thanks very much. Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
Guys,
Get
no
a
worries.
Thank you very much.
standing outside Les Mis looking Miz.
That's going to happen.
That's good.
Man, a big gun type thing on the HMS Belfast.
That won't
well, we've
happen.
got the big gun. It's just finding the boat, which is the problem.
Oh, calm down. What was your name? Bo? Poe?
No.
Poe?
Let's go.
Go. Thanks very much.
Guys, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.